For some people, the technical part of interviews are easy. They know their coding and everything very well. And then they get approached with the behavioral part of the interview, and they bomb it. And the purpose of this video is to make sure that the behavioral part of the interview becomes easy for you. Now you may be thinking, but what is the behavioral part of an interview? Good question. Let's address it. Behavioral interview questions are designed to assess a candidate's soft skills, interpersonal abilities, and problem-solving capabilities. Behavioral interview questions can make or break your interview process. The STAR method, made famous by Amazon, is a key tool used to help you answer these questions. I actually learned the STAR method in prepping for my Amazon interview, which we will talk about maybe in a later date in its own separate video, because that interview was very life-changing for me. But now let's focus on the video at hand. Understanding behavioral interview questions. Behavioral questions are framed to prompt candidates to share specific examples from their past experiences. These questions aim to reveal a candidate's behavior, actions, and outcomes in various work-related scenarios. QA-related questions often focus on teamwork, problem-solving, communication, and conflict resolution. Now let's talk about some example behavioral interview questions. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a challenging team member. How did you handle it? Describe a situation where you identified a critical bug or problem just before a product release. How did you address it? Share an example of when you had to prioritize multiple testing tasks with tight deadlines. How did you manage your time? So stop real quick, pause the video if needed, and try to answer those 3 questions right now. Pretend you're in an interview and got asked each of those questions. What would your answers be? Give you guys a second or two. Now, we're going to answer those questions towards the end of this video, because we're going to learn some new things to put in your tool belt and then come back to those questions once you're more prepared for it. Now, what to look for in the responses. Communication skills. Desired response. Clear articulation of the situation, actions taken, and outcomes achieved. Red flags, or things to stay away from. Vague or unclear responses, difficulty expressing thoughts. Problem-solving abilities. Desired response. Evidence of critical thinking, creative problem-solving, and strategic decision-making. Red flags. Lack of concrete examples, and indecisiveness under pressure. Collaboration and teamwork. Desired response. Demonstrated ability to work well within a team, resolve conflicts, and contribute positively. Red flags. Blaming others. An ability to acknowledge personal contributions to team dynamics. Adaptability. Desired response. Flexibility in adapting to changes, learning from challenges, and adjusting strategies. Red flags. Resistance to change, difficulty accepting feedback. And last but not least, time management and prioritization. Desired response: efficient management of time, clear prioritization of tasks based on urgency and importance. Red flags: poor time management and inability to meet deadlines. So there you go. You now know what good answers and not so good answers look like. You know the thought process, the verbiage. Now let's talk about the STAR method made famous by Amazon. The STAR method, a way to structure your responses effectively. The STAR method: situation, task, action, and result, is a structured approach to answering behavioral interview questions. It helps candidates provide comprehensive and organized responses. Let's break it down. Situation: describe the context or situation. Set the stage for your example. Example: in my previous role, we were approaching a major software release with tight deadlines. That's your situation. Task: explain your specific role or responsibilities in a given situation. Example: as a lead QA engineer, it was my responsibility to ensure the software met quality standards before the release. Action: detail the actions you took to address the situation or challenge. Example: I conducted a thorough review of the code, identified critical bugs, and collaborated with the development team to implement necessary fixes. Simultaneously, I communicated the potential delays to the project manager. Results: share the outcomes of your actions and the impact of the overall situation. Example: by proactively addressing the bugs, we were able to release a more stable product. The collaboration improved team dynamics, and subsequent releases benefited from our lessons learned. Now your toolbox is filled even better. Let's finally answer those questions that I brought up in the very beginning. First, dealing with a challenging team member. And here's the thing: if you're new to the field, it's your first job, don't worry. Talk about other roles in different industries or different jobs that you held previously. Because the same way you acted at a previous job, there's a good chance you act the same way at future jobs. So if you don't have direct QA or software testing experience to talk about other jobs or situations. But try to keep it related to the field as much as possible. Quick break. If you're enjoying this video so far, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you need help on your software testing journey, check out my website, thetestinglead.com. I have books, courses, and other resources to help you on your journey. Now, back to the video. Dealing with a challenging team member. Situation: in a previous project, I worked with a team member who had a tendency to resist collaboration and often cause tension within a team. Task: as a QA lead, my role involved fostering a collaborative environment and ensuring smooth communication among team members. Action: I initiated one-on-one conversations to understand the concerns and challenges my team member was facing. We established clear expectations and addressed any miscommunication. Additionally, I implemented regular team building activities to strengthen our working relationships. Result: the team member gradually became more engaged and collaborative, and overall team dynamics improved. The project saw increased productivity, and we successfully met our milestones. Question number 2. Identifying a critical bug before release. Situation: in a time-sensitive project, I discovered a critical bug just before the scheduled product release. Task: as the QA lead, it was my responsibility to ensure the software's quality and identify any potential issues before release. Action: I immediately documented the bug with detailed steps to reproduce and severity. I communicated the issue to the development team and proposed a quick fix. Simultaneously, I worked with the project manager to assess the impact on the release timeline and communicated the situation to stakeholders. Result: the bug was resolved swiftly, and we were able to release the product on time. The incident prompted the team to implement additional testing measures, preventing similar issues in future releases. Question number 3. Prioritizing multiple testing tasks. Situation: in a project with multiple testing tasks and tight deadlines, I had to effectively manage my time and prioritize tasks. Task: as the sole QA engineer on the project, I was responsible for testing various features and ensuring the overall quality of the software. Action: I created a prioritization matrix based on the criticality of features, potential impact on end users, and dependencies between tasks. I communicated the timeline constraints to the project manager and identified opportunities for parallel testing. Additionally, I leveraged automation for repetitive and time-consuming test cases. Results: by strategically prioritizing and utilizing automation, I met the deadlines for critical features. The project was delivered on schedule, and the prioritization matrix became a valuable tool for future projects. Usually, in the interview process, it's split between hard skills and soft skills. Your hard skills are your technical skills, your test case documentation. If you're doing coding, automation, your programming languages, and things of that nature, those are your hard skills. They're standard, pass or fail. You then have your soft skills, which can make or break your interview process. Because if everybody does good on the technical things and the hard skills, what separates you? The soft skills, your personality, and seeing who you really are. Which is why prepping for the soft skills is very important, and using tools such as Amazon's STAR method and other tools and techniques that we've discussed, the soft skills that you have can be showcased just as much as your hard skills that you've worked so hard on. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it below in the comment section, and I'll address them as soon as possible. And most importantly, don't forget this, learn something new today.